exactly 7 o'clock. Okay, all right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to start first with a little nigun. Yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai la lai yai lai la lai 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 lai. Page 343. Ozi v'zimrat yam v'yehi lishuam. 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 Ozi v'zimrat yam v'yehi lishuam.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome, regardless of whatever reason that you have for being here tonight. We have some students here from UNF. They're going to try and figure us out, which I'm going to try and do anyway. We have some people, unfortunately, who are here because of a death of someone close to them. For whatever reason that you're here with your family, which is a beautiful thing. So we really appreciate you being here. Those also who are streaming online as well, you are part of our family wherever you are. But tonight's service is very important. Not only is it because we are doing our own service together as a family, but Cantor deserves a weekend off for everything that she's gone through. So it's nice that hopefully she's asleep right now, taking a nap. But it's nice to be able and have Mr. Kaur here to assist, to be able to provide a service that hopefully has some meaning to you in whatever way. And hopefully we can provide that to you tonight. So with that, page 339, please. Things are a little different tonight.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Kohan Shama, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
And now we turn all the way back to the beginning of the book, to page 2, for our Shabbat candle blessing. Michael and Deb Kaur.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Heryon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Heryon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Heryon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Heryon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And if you turn back now to page 20, yes, we're all over the place. Page 20, Lechadodi.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shahamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nercha, ki מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניסוחן, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך תודי, לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please rise.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורג ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נלהב. לך תודי, לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, העטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I'm going to remain standing because otherwise you'd sit down and you have to stand up again. But I do want to do a reading that we don't normally do on Friday night. We do it on Saturday mornings because, well, it's my favorite reading in this entire book. So if you would turn to page 107, hopefully it will have meaning for you as it does for me. The second reading, and follow along with me, please. What makes a fire burn is space between the logs, a breathing space. Too much of a good thing, too many logs packed in too tight, can douse the flames almost as surely as a pail of water would. So building fires requires attention to the spaces in between as much as to the wood. When we are able to build open spaces in the same way we have learned to pile on the logs, then we can come to see how it is fuel and absence of fuel together that makes the fire possible. We only need to lay a log lightly from time to time. A fire grows simply because the space is there, with openings in which the flame that knows just how it wants to burn can find its way. And we're going to turn back now to page 28. This is Call to Worship. Page 30, at the bottom, well, actually, the only English reading, and if you could join in with me, please. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And then we turn, please, to page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei toratecha, u'mitzvatecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hein chayenu v'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. V'avatcha al tasir, minenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 34 for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Page 36.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkaruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
It's page 39. And if you could, the second reading, if you could read responsively with me. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say Adonai. There is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by
Prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame
oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day
when the nations will be one and at peace.
Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, sing at the shores of the sea. Page 40.
Kodesh, Norat Tehilot, Osei Felem, Norat Tehilot, Osei Felem. Malachut Echara, Uvanecha, Bokei Hayam Livnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze Eli Anu v'Yameru, Ze Eli Anu v'Yameru. Adonai Yaakov, u'geolam miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gawad Yisrael.
Page 42, Hashkivenu.
Which you can find in your service pamphlet. Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
just go across the page to page 43. Let's read together at the top, because that's the purpose of this reading. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, habarei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, Bishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
Let's go to rise. Page 46, as we go into Tefillah, please rise.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach ufi aki tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh Me'dim Rachamim Abim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'agivurot, Umido Melach, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
May be seated. You turn to page 55 on the top if you want to read along with me. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Kaddish Shabbat. Page 60. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Le'olam Tasihim Le'olam Tasihim Le'olam.
Now we come to my favorite part of the service, because it's not about us. This is the time of silent meditation. I wish I had this all of the years growing up. I never had it before I came here in the temple, but all the services in my life have been, we go to this page, we go to this page, we go to this page, we go to this page. This is the part in the service that's deeply personal to you. You can choose to have some of the readings in the book, or this is a time for you to have your personal conversation with God, or for just even have a few moments of peace. All I ask is that when you are done, that you lift up your head so I can see, and then we can continue on.
Shalom, shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom, ose shalom, shalom bimromav, yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, be'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
Wonderful. We'll turn now for prayers for healing on page 253. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. And what I'll do is I'll read the list that I have, and then if you have someone that you would like to mention, I'll give you the opportunity to do that. So we're thinking tonight of Carol Babcock, Donna Berlin, Paula Best, Rosalie Teddy Bono, Fran Colley, Adele and Harold Cohen, Marilyn Datz, Tom Davis, Devorah Bat Rachel, Helene Edwards, Sarah Fabian, Art Fields, Mahmet Gunez, Dr. Randall Haas, Judy Halperin, Margaret Hare, Mary Hartman, Jules Hildebrand, Barry Kaufman, Robert Kay, Janet Kennedy, Hazel Mack, Andrea Mitchell, Tina Naper, David Osofsky, Laura Osofsky, Bert Peters, Yuri Polanski, Buddy Pollock, Jean Posen, Randall Rao, Marlene Reb, Sandra Reznikoff, Alex Rosen, Adele Shamban, Judy Shea, Ruthie Silva, Alan Smith, Nicholas Sobek, Barbara Steinberg, Judy Van Gorder, Carolyn Wen, David Weston, Marlene Wittich, Marla Stein, Johannes. And if you have somebody else that you would like to mention, go around. David?
Charles Sella, Dr. McKinney, John Mitchell, Ida Hayes, Fred and Dorothy Weiss, Sam Zucker, Nelma Sikora, Susan Popiol, Fran Young, Larry Reed, David and Mary Lou Boyer, Jesse Halpern.
Start on this side, go to the right side in a second.
And Stella.
And so, anybody else on this side?
Sharon Rice-Wood.
Carol Gladstone, Phil Valesky.
Anyone else have anything? We keep these people in our hearts and our thoughts, as well as those that take care of those people as well in our hearts. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema.
today, I am a bar mitzvah. I want to thank, hang on a second, wrong one. Hang on, wrong one. Shabbat Shalom. There is so much to unpack in this week's Parsha Vayera, and this could take a few hours to discuss. Add to that you have a lawyer speaking to you, it could take even longer. Well, that's okay, because I'm not getting paid by the word, or I'm not even getting paid. All right, so maybe not so long. So let's delve into the myriad of occurrences in this week's Parsha. And as I begin, I'm going to ask the men, you might want to cross your legs at this point. So first we have Abraham, sitting at the door of his tent, recovering from his self-inflicted circumcision. And he's visited by angels. Okay, you can uncross your legs now. Okay? Now, the angels come, and so that's the first part, visiting the sick. Now, I look at this because Abraham now gets up to take care of these people, and I'm thinking to myself, gee, after my bris, it took me over a year to learn how to walk again. But okay, you don't get an opportunity very often to throw in that joke. Abraham isn't concerned anymore about his welfare. He needs to take care of his guests. So, there's another part, taking care and being kind to the stranger. The most listed responsibility in the Torah, mentioned over 70 times in the scroll. Then the angels tell Sarah that she's going to be giving birth soon, and she laughs. Abraham is told the same thing, and he laughs. I'm not sure why the laughter. Funny about Sarah giving birth at such an advanced age, or that her and Abraham have to get together to do the act to create the child. Either way, it was funny to them. Abraham is then told of God's upcoming destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah because of the wickedness of their inhabitants, and that horrified Abraham at this destruction of humankind. So he discusses and then negotiates with God. What if there were righteous men? And he negotiates from 50 down to 10, and that's where we get the concept of the minyan. And Abraham realized this is a lost cause because God keeps agreeing that he won't destroy if you could find these people, and so he realizes there aren't even one. And so the cities are to be destroyed. Then there's the angels visiting Lot and Sodom, and Lot protects them as the locals demanded them, and he offers up his daughters instead. Lot and his family were told to leave the city and never to turn around and look back, which of course his wife did, and then she turned into a pillar of salt. That's a lot, but we continue. Isaac is born, and Isaac's name in Hebrew means laughter. Then we have Hagar, and her and Abraham's son, Ishmael, whom Sarah doesn't like very much, imagine that. And she threw them out and wandered, but God told Hagar that they would be protected, and he created a well of water to save their lives, and he promised that Ishmael would be the father of a large nation, the Arab people. Enough? Not quite. Then we have the most disturbing part of this entire chapter, where God tells Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac as a burnt offering, and he goes to do just that. Now, if that doesn't disturb you, oh, that's right, we still have people today willing to sacrifice and do unheard of crimes against others to prove their loyalty to their God. Anyway, I digress. Just before Abraham kills Isaac, an angel tells him to stop. Now, God tells him to do it, but an angel has to tell him to stop. And, obviously we know that Abraham didn't do it. A ram was then found and sacrificed, and that's why till today, the ram's horn is used as a shofar, symbolizing our dedication to God. God then blesses Abraham and promises to multiply his people and their seed as numerous as the sand on the seashores and protect him. Meanwhile, we don't ever hear about Isaac ever talking to his father again, but even more importantly, God never talks to Abraham again. So much for sacrificing your life for God. So there you have it. Now, what to discuss? Visiting the sick, taking care of strangers, obedience to God? Nope, that's not what I want to do. But that's what the chapter's about. I want to discuss us, Jews. Most of us grew up the way I did. We were born Jewish. We were told what we had to do. It never occurs to us why we do and why we practice. We aren't even encouraged to do that. I grew up as a conservative Jew, which to this day still has no definition except to say we're not them and we're not them. Okay? So, just do what we are told. That's the way we grow up. And that's what most Jews know. To me, the most knowledgeable Jews, besides those who go to the seminary, are ones that convert, because they actually have to learn about us. But for the rest of us, we're just born Jewish and we go through the motions. Well, it wasn't until I came here to Temple that I learned that our Reform movement encourages knowledge and questioning. We have Torah study, we have wisdom group, to name a few, and all kinds of educational opportunities. When I came to Temple, I took the Introduction to Judaism class. And when I did that, everyone said to me, that was ridiculous. After all, I was a Jewish lady in the Navy for 27 years. I was president, closed down a synagogue. I was even president of my synagogue in Iraq, the only functioning synagogue there. But I think that was more because of my rank, but that's besides the point. Why take an introduction class with all of that experience? Yes, I can lead a service. Hopefully you think so. I really don't know too much, though, about our practices and beliefs. I didn't know that until I took that class, and others since. For instance, why do we light 2 Shabbos candles? Or Shabbat candles now. I didn't get the memo. No one even bothers to ask that question. And hopefully some of you tonight are saying, yeah, why do we do 2 lights? You never even thought to ask the question. The answer is to remember and observe the Sabbath. That's why there are 2. But we grow up, we're just told to do it. Here at Temple, we're always encouraged to look at our sacred writings, and we break them down. We consider the thoughts throughout the ages, and then we try to make sense of who we are as a people. And this is one of the reasons I love it here. We read a chapter like Vayera, and there's so much packed in, as I started off with tonight, and we're encouraged to discuss positively and the negativity of the issues presented. And our job should be as questioning and as knowledgeable as we can be, while at the same time learn from our teachings, such as visiting the sick, being kind to strangers, and taking care of each other, and not to sacrifice others to prove your worth to something or someone else. And here at Temple, we do a great job at these things, and many more. So the actual purpose of my speaking to you is that we can read all the texts we want and just take what we are given, or we can learn, discuss, and most importantly, to become the best people we can be. Question, be involved, know your heritage, which contains wonderful and also not so wonderful things. And it's not a matter of, let's go to services and decide during the service where we're going to eat after the service, okay? We want to involve and evolve. And we start with, who are we? Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Time to get back to work, Michael. We turn to page 282, Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And this week, we're in a period of Shiva for Leon Gailey and Linda Young Haskins. We are in a period of Shloshim, which is 30 days after death of Patricia Jacoby, Alan Fernfine, Bernadine Schumann, and Lisa Houston. And we have the Yortzeit, the anniversary, the yearly anniversary of the following people: Barry Asher, Robert Banks, Amelia Amy Berrid, Robert Brotman, Robert Cortese, Erwin Dorman, Max Duhan, Blanche Edwards, David Friedman, Esther Galinsky, Rabbi Howard Greenstein, James Jim Grinnan, Samuel Horowitz, Robert Gary Kissin, Samuel Maness, Sheldon Mandel, Clara Mark, Jacob Marsh, Abe Mansky, Judy Price, Bernard Roberts, Bonnet Rosenberg, Seymour Reba, Rosalind Schomer, Joseph Silverstein, Irving Sirota, Jane Smith, Melissa Solano, Martin Stein, Philip Stein, Leon Lee Stone, Bernice Rose Sugarman, Herman Truboisa, Laverne Wheel, Samuel Weiss, Henry Wittich. And if I pronounced the name wrong, I apologize. It certainly was not intentional. And if there's somebody that you wish to remember tonight, please recognize you.
Brian Mourner.
Anyone else? As we remember these people, we think of them whom death has recently taken from us and those who died at this season. And as we get ready, as we say the Mourner's Kaddish as a congregation, together I ask everyone to please stand. I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
294.
On page 294, as a community. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, b'yalama divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala b'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Kudisha, Brichu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alama v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. You may be seated.
There you go.
Yes, I'll also give the announcements tonight because I'm here. Shabbat Shalom again.
Shabbat Shalom.
Now I got to read the script this time. My name is Edward Mallow, and on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our temple members, we welcome you to Congregation Ahavah Chesed. We are thrilled you've chosen our temple for your Shabbat worship this evening. We encourage you to read through all of the many exciting things happening in our community through our email, through our Facebook, through our website, where we have this here tonight as well. Please go to the website, also thetempleJacks.org. We're busy here. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we have Torah study. And then Michael and I will be leading services at 10:30. This Sunday morning, besides the welcoming of our school kids and the breakfast for the school kids, we'll have the temple community breakfast at 10 o'clock outdoors, and then our member Ben Marcus as our guest speaker. Then next Friday night, October 29, we'll have an outdoor Shabbat celebration with food and fun, all at our tailgate Shabbat. Why? Because Georgia's going to kick some butt. I'm sorry. Sorry, because you had to watch the University of Georgia bow tie all night. Okay? Bring your sense of adventure. And then it's going to be karaoke. It's only $5 a person, so don't forget to RSVP. The festivities will kick off at 6 o'clock. We certainly want to welcome all of our visitors tonight. If you are new here, come over and say hello, and everybody else, because we are a welcoming community. And because we have some college students here tonight, and we've had them over the years, who are like, what does this mean and what does that mean? We're happy to answer your questions. And if we don't know the answer, we'll do what everybody else does and we'll make it up. So enjoy. I want to thank everyone tonight. And Miriam wants to come up. Okay. So why'd you let me do the speech? Come on. Our president.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed, for giving everybody a break from me doing the announcements. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I just wanted to pop up to give a big thank you to Michael Kor and Ed Mallow. Not just for tonight's service, but for their support for years, but in particular for the past month. In unusual and difficult circumstances, they are our unsung heroes. You have the chair of our ritual committee, you have the former chair of our ritual committee, and they are prime examples of the embarrassment of riches that we have as a synagogue. People who show up time and time again to do the hard work, and please give them a big yasher koach and a thank you after services tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. And before we end tonight, we're going to do a little Kiddish and Motzi.
You can grab the Kiddish. Please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kinshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinechilanu, Zigaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziyat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol Shabbat kodshecha b'ahava u'ratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. And
2021, great year.
Grab the challah there, and we'll join in with the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Yeah, I didn't think you wanted that.
I'll never get to the end.
Like a month old. Yeah.
So let's conclude tonight on page 344 with the singing of Shir Chadash. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. unto God a new song.
Shabbat shalom. Thank
Shabbat
you.
shalom.
Mazel tov. Congratulations. Oh, super. Work well together. It was good.
Nice suit.
Thank you. It was hard.